Hey friends, welcome to another voice message here with Sat. Hey, in this message, I wanted to have an open-hearted, candid conversation with those clients who are new to the market. What I'm noticing out there as a professional, that most everyday families and people who are coming to the market are making 2 or 3 basic fundamental mistakes. And those mistakes could potentially be costing them a lot of money, definitely a lot of opportunities, and might even be adding some stress to their whole process. As you may know or may not know yet about us, I work with lots of professionals. Professionals as in people who are really up on the game of real estate and mortgages. People who buy as investment properties, millions of dollars of mortgages and real estate that they do every year, and they do it very successfully. So I like to study those people and bring the benefit from what they know and how they do business to my everyday clients. And it makes a tremendous amount of difference. So 3 key fundamental areas that I think an average client is lacking in today's are as follows. 1, average everyday person does not see the value in their own business. They tend to throw their business like tossing the seed to the birds out there. It's like tossing everything to the wind, and whoever catches it, so to speak. They do not value their business enough to hold it tight and put it in the hands of right professional. As a result, they do not end up choosing good quality professionals to help them through the process. And as a result, they don't get to see all the opportunities that are out there. Second fundamental area that I see lots of gap in with the everyday people is they don't call their professional early enough in the process. They wait till they are ready to call the professional. And unfortunately, because they are getting ready with the limited knowledge and resources that the client themselves have for the market, they miss out on a whole lot of opportunities out there that a professional could have suggested, and they probably would have prepared for and capitalized on had they seek that professional advice early enough in their research phase. And then the third mistake or third fundamental area where I see lots of average families or everyday families missing out is the fact that they don't buy or sell real estate with future in mind. They get so focused on this one transaction that is on hand that they forget about what they can do through this transaction for their future. On the other hand, I see successful people who sell and buy lots of real estate, buy and sell every time with their 5 to 10 year plan in mind. So these 3 areas are so simple to fix and such an easy areas that can be easily kind of fixed and optimized that they can make tremendous amount of difference. So let's talk a little bit more of each one of them in a bit more detail. Why is it that you need to value your business and you need to seek the right type of professional? Here is what I learned from a very key, highly successful investor in VC. He said, Sat, it's important that you learn the value of your business, whether that you're buying just 1-bedroom studio apartment or you're buying a multi-million-dollar mansion. Chances are that the business you have on hand is probably the most expensive or one of the most expensive transactions of your life, if not the most expensive transaction of your life. You say whatever the value of that transaction, whether it is 300,000, 500,000, million, over million, whatever that value is, if you had that money cash in a bag or in your bank account and you choose to invest it, would you just go and throw it out in the market to anyone who catches it first to go and invest on your behalf? would you take a little bit of time to qualify that individual and make sure that individual is willing to do the right type of investment that will meet your goals through the future? I'm like, of course I won't just throw it out in the street. I'll probably do some due diligence. You see, but did you know though, most people when they're buying real estate, they probably are doing much bigger investment in that, because by the time you buy real estate today, let's say you're doing $200,000 property or $500,000 property, by the time you pay for it after paying for mortgages and 25 years of payment, you pay a lot more than that. They say, you'd probably be surprised to hear that a lot of people doing that big of a transaction pay no attention who's going to help them do this. I'm like, that makes sense. Because I remember being on buyer and seller side, I didn't pay much attention to who I was selecting to help me with the transaction. I kind of selected people based on if somebody knew me, if I've done business with somebody, sometimes based on a marketing, sometimes an ad, sometimes I met somebody in an open house, sometimes somebody I knew have done business with someone and they've given me a reference. And those are all great places to start from. But that's all they are, a starting point. So what happens, most people start at that starting point and then they skip the middle part, which is actually the most important part, which is qualifying your professional and making sure they will fit the needs you have, and then they end up going directly to working with them. And because that middle part is missed, that's where also all the opportunities are missed. And the biggest mind bender that came to me after that, most people don't even realize the opportunities that they have missed. They were in their blind spot, and they kind of lived in their blind spot, and they just kind of went straight from talking to somebody to hiring them. There is no qualification in between, therefore end up missing out on a whole lot more than they would have capitalized had they chosen that profession with a bit of a careful mindset. Now, why do most people don't carefully choose a real estate agent or a mortgage brokerage? Most people do not know how to. I've recorded a podcast on that subject alone, is how to do that. Most of us don't want to be awkward, don't want to come across standoffish or interviewing the guy and trying to ask millions of questions before we hire. We are not comfortable around any of that. And I understand that. So I've got a very simple format of conversation that you can have with 2 or 3 people. And based on the answers you get and observations you make, it will be very easy to tell who could be the right fit for you without ever coming across standoffish. And if you made those 5-minute calls with 2 or 3 people, you'd be surprised what you can learn and how you could clearly see who could be a better fit for your needs. If you do not have any such education with you prior to this, you're welcome to give me a call. One of the things we do is we provide potential clients educational tools about real estate and marketing and concepts like this without any obligations, without any strings attached. No, you don't have to give me your account numbers or the blood group of your firstborn to get a PDF from me. If you need that type of help, just simply send me a text that I'm looking for this PDF or this podcast and send it my way, and we will totally do it for you. And you will not receive plethora of emails or marketing after that trying to sell you something. We just genuinely want to be here to serve people, to educate people, to help people learn all those type of concepts. So if you haven't ever paid attention to this idea, I have a podcast that I can send it to you. Just shoot me a text 604-308-6757 and we can go from there, okay? Now, the second part that they talk about, that people don't come to a professional early enough. So what happens is, us Canadians as a society, we are very polite people. We don't want to really bother anyone until we really know and we're sure of that we are ready to do something. We feel, why take a time of a professional if I'm not even sure what I'm going to do yet, right? That usually is the mindset of every buyer or seller out there. Another challenge that is too is sometimes you end up talking to professionals or people who are not necessarily very mindful or very alive to your privacy and your time. So you open your mouth out to them like, hey, I'm going to do something. Now you start getting this barrage of emails and marketing and calls, and now you feel under pressure of having to do something, so to speak. So you want to avoid that a little bit. So because of those two reasons, we generally don't call a professional early enough. And as a society, as a professional group of real estate and mortgage professionals, you hear messages from us as well all the time, kind of saying things like, well, when you are ready, call me. Let me just share her news with you. When you are ready, it's too late to call a professional when you're ready. Why it is so? Because this professional, if they are earning a paycheck from you on the value of your business, like I talked before, they should be in the mindset of helping you prepare, which means the first time the thought of real estate or doing something in that regard crosses your mind, you gotta pick up the phone and start looking for people as a first step and call somebody who is the right fit for you and ask them if they'll help you prepare. And that preparation may take 3 months, may take 6 months, may take a year, may take 5 years. We don't know. But unless a professional is willing to sit down with you, go through all the pros and cons, understand what you're trying to do, and give you solid, actionable items that can help you prepare, you gotta reconsider if this profession is the right professional for you or not. Now, why is that important to prepare through professional? Because a professional can see a lot more opportunities, have access to a lot more knowledge and people than you. Imagine you having to solve a 1,000-piece puzzle and you only being able to see 1 or 2 pieces of that puzzle. The rest of the 998 pieces are not visible to you, or you're not skilled enough to understand what's going on with those pieces. But a professional might be. Now, if you're going to buy or sell a property soon and you're going to give a professional your business, wouldn't it be useful services this professional can look at all these other areas that you may not be aware of and see what kind of opportunities exist there and what can you capitalize on out of that and how you can be best helped out of that scheme? What you do not know about real estate and mortgages is probably a lot more and a lot bigger piece of knowledge than what you do know. So if what you do know would have some opportunities, what you do not know probably is 100 times more, that means there could potentially be 100 times more opportunities in that area, in that circle. Why would you not want to capitalize on that? So any professional worth their salt would want to help you prepare. One word of caution: when you hear from a professional or a mortgage broker or a realtor gonna call you when you're ready, that's the first sign that they're not willing to prepare you. As a matter of fact, they probably haven't even thought about that they should help you get ready. That's a sign to call somebody else, just as a tip for you. Third piece, that most people get too focused on this particular transaction that is on their hand, and how does it hurt them? See, if you think about real estate and mortgages, it's a long-term game. Most people getting into real estate, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned veteran buyer and seller of properties and flipped few on the way, have another plan that's about 5 to 10 years down the road. Whether it is to get into another property, a different type of circumstances, maybe their job will change, maybe they will have a new family. We know from the facts and from the data out there that an average family changes their home every 6.42 years, however that is. But let's say 75 years, just for easy, simple math. So if you know the chances are that your living situation will change next 5 years, then you should probably also think about, okay, if my lifestyle is going to change in the next 4 or 5 years, then my living situation probably will change in the next 4 or 5 years. And what kind of changes would I need to make to my housing at that point in time? The investments and properties you want to buy or sell today can just help you do that for today, or those same transactions of today can become the stepping stones for the future options. Now, you can't really plan for this unless you know what what your future might hold. Now, in some cases, that's pretty difficult to guess what your future might hold, depending on your situation. But in most cases, we may not have the most accurate idea what my future is going to hold, but we could have some good sense of it. Like if you are a young couple have been dating for 6 years and you're already engaged or something, chances are you're probably going to be married and may have a child on the way. That's a pretty good guess for the next 5 years. So if you know that 5 years down the road you might be in that situation, then wouldn't it make sense to buy your property today in a way that it helps you to get set up for that next upcoming lifestyle? A lot of people don't do that. It's not only on the buying side but also on the selling side. If you know that you're going to probably need to sell 3 to 5 years down the road, wouldn't it make sense to start preparing for it today or have someone watching the market for you? So if instead of 3 years down the road the market was really favorable in 2.5 years, somebody to pick up the phone and call you saying, hey listen, this is what we are seeing, it might benefit you, would you be open to that option if there was? And I've seen people benefiting literally by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars within matters of months. As an individual, it's very hard for you to plan all that out. But as a professional who works in the industry day in, day out, this should be a hard thing to do. But again, you won't be able to plan that unless someone sits down with you and does a service that we do called road mapping and game planning. So we offer this type of service to all of our clients upfront. So with that, I want to leave you with this one little thing, and that is that most people, most families coming to the market are usually somewhat half-baked knowledge on what they are to accomplish. They have some ideas, they have some hopes, some aspirations, some dreams, and a little bit of fantasies in there as well, that they secretly wish they could come across this property if this at this lowest possible price that fits in their budget, etc., etc. And we all have that. We all have certain hopes and dreams and goals that we want to accomplish. Your dreams and goals have a lot better chance of coming true if you simply focus on these 2 or 3 basic things. Make sure you value your business and you choose your professional well. Make sure that you plan and prepare and take professional help to get ready. And make sure you do your business today with your future in mind. Now, if you have a certain individual who can help you do all 3 of those, I'd highly encourage you to call them and seek their help. If you have not met anyone yet who thinks like this, talks like this, or even have these ideas and concepts in their head that should be discussed, if you do not have any such individual yet, I'd encourage you to consider giving us a quick call. Our way of doing business is very simple. We are relationship oriented, we are value driven. Our goal is not to get a sale from you. Our goal is to sit down, find a little bit more about you, learn about what you're trying to accomplish, maybe develop a small friendship, develop a small trust, open a door, open a conversation, and let's see over the next couple of weeks where that conversation leads us. Many times those conversations lead to very fruitful business transactions, but many other times those conversations lead to great friendships. Business is awesome, but business with a great friendship is super awesome. If I could have your business or your friendship or your trust and your relationship, I'd rather go for your relationship over business. But if I can serve you enough to have both, that would be amazing, and you definitely welcome that type of an opportunity. My name is Sat Manju. eXp Realty is my brokerage. Your mortgage source and Very Good is my mortgage brokerage. If you have any questions about real estate or mortgages, or wanted to learn more about these type of concepts and ideas that can help you get ahead in the market, you're welcome to give me a call. Let's grab a coffee someday. Let's have a conversation. Let's sit down. Let's learn about each other. And let's see where that leads us. Thank you for listening.